Hey! Hi! So, how long have you been doing this for?
16 years.
Seriously? 16 years.
Do that make you feel sick?
That's longer than I've been at school. At the start, you think that you've got to look like everybody else, you've got to you make like everybody else, you've got to wear what everybody else wears. And then I come to a point where you just think, I want to look like that, or I want to wear that, and I want to do that. And then that kind of, that's like, because when you try to like keep up with the Joneses all the time, then you aren't comfortable in your own skin. So like, when you first start, you try to emulate bits of like everybody. You're not going to be true to yourself, are you? You don't like being the real you. So I would say like now, I dress how I want and do my makeup how I want. And at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's music. We've always got music on. There's always music on. That's probably. And you know, and probably, and you feel that you have to perform all the time. And I just think that because you spend so much time in that character, I enjoy my like downtime, the time where like in my tracksuit bottoms and not hoodie on, I'm just on the couch watching the Kardashians and all that.
Love a bit of Kanye.
But yeah, I suppose. The funny mix allows between the two is music.
And what?
I mean, over the years, the village has changed. But when we go through changes, in some periods, there's not many drag queens as there probably are now.
Yeah.
I remember a few years back, there was hardly anything drag queens. It was all quite dancing. So bars were employing dance DJs rather than drag queens. And, you know, and I think it just depends on what's in fashion at the moment with the whole RuPaul thing. It seems to be more kind of drag queens about. Yeah. Well, it's opened the door. I'm now on the committee for Bolton Pride, Warrington Pride. I'm an ambassador for the George House Trust. I've been talking before, like things to myself. So yeah, it's done a lot. It's opened a lot. So that's anything I've had to say. It's gone. There's more bars, there's more venues. So which means people are spread out over all those bars and things. Manchester's probably got something like 50% more bars and restaurants than it had then. So it's quieter. It's quieter, and we still probably don't need it. As a society, we've changed so much. You and I could go out in the Northern Quarter and probably have an amazing time. We probably couldn't have done that 15 years ago. So the equality that we wanted, we've got, which means we don't need the security of the gay village, and that's why we're in the States. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a change. Change is change, and you've got to embrace it, haven't you? So, you know, for me, we wanted equality, we didn't want, you know, and we got it. But that works both ways.
Yeah,
so the gay community can't say, oh, we don't want straight people in our venues when we wanted access to the straight venues.
As a community for like gay people itself, like, do you think the village is good for like people struggling like to come out? And like that?
You know, that's what I think the village's main role in our community is. It's there for people to go to explore, to make friends, to meet people, find out about themselves, to experiment with sexuality. I think it is a damn good revitalisation. I think we need to work together. The venues need to work together. There needs to be solidarity. There needs to be clear communication about where it wants to go. And I think it needs to be rebranded, remarketed, and it needs to give back. You know, and they've had an amazing 12 years, 10 years, 15 years. Now that they've hit
a wall,
stop knowing about it, find out why people are coming down, and change it.
So when
I was at school, I was bullied horrendously. We found the village at 16. My friend from school found the village, and we didn't look back, really. You've got to find your own cliff, haven't you? You're good friends. So yeah, you know, I didn't even know that trans people existed. Our whole personality, we spend all of our time on them. So when you're DJing to a crowd, everyone's on the phones. And I think that just distracts from atmosphere, distracts from the party. They use that to meet people rather than they're all obsessed with taking selfies. So we spend all night taking selfies, which we spend all night uploading to social media, we spend all night reading the comments and replying to the comments, rather than just enjoying the music and enjoying. Yeah, I think it's perceived to be easier now.
I'd say it was
and more acceptable.
Yeah.
You know, people look about to them on Facebook, doing them on gay. You know, it's a different thing altogether. Well, society is different. You know, everything's different. I like change. I love change. I love things moving. I love things not being the same. And I suppose you can say when you get older, you know, you'll kind of look back and go, those times were better. When you were young, you can't hate people saying that or whatever. It's true. Am I correct?
Is that all it is?
No, not at all. I've got amazing friends. But most of my friends I've met through DJs. I've got my oldest best friend from school, and everybody else really I don't.
For me, I started looking into drag while I was in university studying, and I was DJing out of drag, and the two kind of came together. And I started looking at people like Lee Bowery, people like that, and like more the live art scene. And I just like putting shapes together. And at first, I used to wear like big puffball outfits and like oversized stuff. And then I started playing around with like masculine and femininity. So I like the beard on a man, but I like the curves on a woman and the breasts. So I like put all them together, do you know what I mean? I think out of all the working queens in the village, I am probably more alternative. Yeah. But there is more alternative queens. You've got like the fabulous Anna Polatic, Cheddar Gorgeous. They're out there queens. I've gone for like a look, and Danny Beard's my brand as well. Yeah. So for me, it has to stay similar. I try and play around with eyes, things like that. You know, different colour makeup. But I like to try and stick to this kind of look silhouette. So people can instantly go, that's Danny Beard. I think everyone has their place. Everyone has a distinct role. I think when I came on the scene, I was something new, I was fresh, I was something, the aesthetic had not been used before. I think that was a big part of playing Wire Rock gigs. But I think I'm modest, but I'm quite a good DJ as well.
So you are.
So often, this isn't the rule because there is really good drag DJs out there. But often you got a drag queen for the look and the house and the banter, and you got a DJ to DJ. And I think the fact that I could do both was another big thing. I maybe brought to the, not me personally, others as well, but we all had a part to play in bringing that to the village. The village has changed since I've been here. I've only been in the village 3 or 4 years. And the village has changed in terms of, we went through this patch of like hen parties, and it still is. But you've got the likes of Kiki that have opened up, you've got Ombar, the new Taurus, you're getting new good venues opening up, which in turn is making existing venues like AXM, Bar, up the game. So in general, everybody's up in the game because there's new big people on the scene, and in all, I think it's getting better and better.
There's something here for everyone, there is.
Whether you want to come out and you want to take drugs and that's your thing, there's somewhere for that. You just want a quiet drink and listen to live music being played, there's something for that. You want to be entertained by a drag show, there's something for that. There is something for everyone. There is gay only bars, men only bars, women only bars, mixed bars. So I believe the village caters for everyone.
I think the village can provide protection for people that aren't out and want to slip in.
I think in the way back when people used to come in and do dodgy stuff down the side of canals, it was probably more secluded and not as noticeable then, but there certainly is still. If you know where to look, the right places to go to slip away and not be seen. Yeah. Gay people don't need to come to the gay area anymore. Can't help but sing to this when it comes on. Like that. So yeah, grind. They've all had a part to play in. If you want a shag, you go and sit at home and get it. You don't need to come out. So that's had a part to play for people that were looking for that. But still, that's all part of our job and the venue's job to bring something to make you come out. I had fucking bolognese today, that's what happens when you put a corset on, it all comes back. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Men want to perceive themselves. The big thing nowadays is straight acting. Gays don't necessarily want to be camping gay anymore. Go back 10 years ago when I started coming out on the scene, I was too young, don't get me wrong, but people were camping. There was a more broad spectrum in gay men. But nowadays, the ideal gay man is masculine, but so it goes through the different things really. It depends who you are, where you come from, where you socialise, and what your stereotype is. My stereotype, because of my job, is so broad. I'm open to it all. I know, I work in Eagle, which is a man-only bar, bear bar, fetish bar. That's one type. I work here. This caters to the more young students, mixed bag, gay straights mixing, in a gay environment. So I personally see it all, but I think maybe somebody who just has never been to a gay village like this might still think gay people Cam, Alan Carr, the stereotype you see.
Comedy thing. I come out, the opening of the show, I come out with something extremely glamorous. All the drag queens I know, one of the stick dresses, it stands up huge, found my names on it, purple sequin, to fame. Remember my name, lift it up, there's my name, get the microphone, good evening. And if they do that, the look doesn't match, so that helps. And when I started doing drag, I think one of the main points of drag for me is the illusion of it. Because even out of drag, you can spot them a mile off. Yeah. Their eyebrows are plucked out of existence. They've still got the hands like that. They're still, and they never finish working, and they're still trying to make people laugh when they're out of it. They never switch off. And that, I went with the blonde hair because I wanted to go as far away from my real self as possible. For a drink after I got ready, and the old men sat around the bar nearly fell off the stool and just said, "Were you that?" We can't, and do all that. And yes, it's me and whatever. And, obviously, you see through the same eyes looking out of them. Yeah. So sometimes you forget that when people are looking at you. Drag has always been synonymous with the gay scene, of course, and they're sort of seen a bit like matriarchs. Of the village and of the gay scene that they're working in, really. Depending on your status, it's like there is a pecking order. Yeah. And you've really got to peck and claw your way up to anywhere where you can get enough gigs, two, where you can make enough money doing it, and you've really to rub shoulders with the people that have been doing it for years, even when you're relatively new. Yeah. As I suppose I am. I mean, just short, 15 years now. Wow. I started the millennium, so I'm still relatively a baby, and I would say still learning. I don't think you ever stop learning. Everything in drag has all been done before, pretty much. Yeah. In one way or another, it's really about doing it your way. Being topical. I like being topical. Something hits the news, you must be doing it. You must be 24 hours later, if you can be. To a week later, you need to be, it has to go in the show, you have to reference it and things like that. You've got to be on the ball. So, what did you bring to the village? To enable me to work in one area 4 nights a week, you've just got to have versatility. Yeah. Because if I was doing the same thing 4 nights a week, this audience that we've got, this permanent audience, we don't have enough tourists all year round. Yeah. To keep your act the same thing every week. So I've got 4 nights and I do 4 different things. Well, I see it through different eyes, of course, because when you work here, it's a different monster altogether. But when I first coming down here, you do draw yourself to the drag queens. Yeah. Even though I was terrified of them, I was scared of them, genuinely scared of them. I cannot believe that I became one. But I used to go in and you'd find your drag queens, and I was a pretty young thing back then, you know.
Yeah.
I had hair and everything. And I made a beeline for those, and once one of them gets to know your name, or mentions you want to be there.
Yeah.
Because you feel special.
Yeah.
At that age, you know. So it's something I still try to do.
Sort of principle with the
No,
village.
this is a big debate at the moment. I think because it's so common for people to go outside the village now with the boyfriends or girlfriends. It's, you know, we're not getting as many people, but that's not just the problem. I think the biggest problem, especially with gay men, not coming out to the village, is the point of being around your own kind. I mean, you know, just like straight people. It's a sexual thing. You come out to socialise in the hope that you're going to pull or meet your next boyfriend or even get a casual fuck or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Now you've got Grindr,
Yeah.
you've got Tinder, you've got Hornet, you've got etc. You can sit and do that at home.
Yeah.
And if it's pissing down, you'll just get your shag off there. You can have a chat and fall in love in a few days on there. You don't need to come down and spend a shitload of money and go to the effort of getting ready and, you know. So I think that's sort of killing it off a little bit, is the technology.
Yeah.
And so a few bars have closed to accommodate the smaller crowd, but it's still here and it's still as strong.
Yeah.
Despite not needing to be a total gay area, people still like to be around their own kind. And, you know, why? What's wrong with that? I'm always on my phone, you know that.
I know, you're
not doing that. Not on Grindr. Well, I'm got Grindr, but I won't pay for Grindr extra. I don't know. I think anywhere where there's a big collection of bars all in one place, it's a drinking strip, isn't it? So some of them don't particularly think, oh, it's the gay, let's go and down and look at the freaks, let's look at the drag queens, let's look at the trannies. They just come down because it's a strip of bars. Yeah. Everyone's competing business-wise, so drinks are £1 in that bar, £1.50 in that bar, so it's a cheap, you know,
cheap night.
And it's a good place for a pub crawl. So, you know, and to be honest, it was a lot busier. It was a hell of a lot busier, I remember. I don't know, back then the weather seemed nicer, and I don't know why. I don't know if it actually physically was sunnier. I mean, it's a depressing time now for some reason. Back then, everything seemed a lot happier, which is probably why it seemed like it was sunshine.
Yeah.
It might have been pissing down for all I remember. Always something going on, always someone behind the bar with a tambourine. Don't ask me why, but there they were. You know, there were queens doing dance routines on stage to steps and things like that. We don't really have that anymore. When I was living in Burnley, I was living with my boyfriend, settled down, been with him 3 years. I was at the bus station, just getting the bus up the hill to go home, and I was in the bus queue, and someone walked past me, a guy, shaved head, just walked past me, right in my face, right?
Was this in or out of drag?
It was, no, I was like 19.
Alright, okay.
And there was, in front of me, there was a woman, a mother with a pram, and behind me there was a really old lady, she was about 103, like, shriveled up. And I was a bit shocked. He just walked spat right in my face. I think he said faggot or queer, I can't remember which one, as he walked off. I turned around, the old woman just put her head down, and eventually the woman in front turned around and looked at me, turned back and put her head down. And I was stood there thinking, what the hell do I do? And it was just running down my face. I didn't even pick up to wipe it off. And the X43 bus pulled up inside there, which is the Manchester bus from Birmingham to Manchester. So I walked across the thing. I didn't even check how much money I had in my pockets. And I climbed on the bus and I came to Manchester. I walked into Via, sat right at the back with a cauldron and all the wood. Sat in there, I got a gin and tonic. And eventually, I got pissed actually. And my boyfriend rung me when he finished work and he said, where are you? And I said, I'm in Manchester, I'm on Canal Street and I'm not coming back. Anyway, big deal, he come over to drag me back.
Yeah.
But by the time he did, I was sat at the bar talking to 3 or 4 people. I'd met some friends and they were buying me drinks and I was buying them drinks. And and that's on the way home in the car I said, we're moving. And 3 months later, we're up to move to Spain because I refused to stay in Burnley. But when I came back from there, this is where I came. I came back because it's my people. You see them as your people, you know.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody did that, they would probably end up floating face down in the canal, raped, mugged, or murdered. Do you know what I mean? So it's a different time altogether now as you get older. But I've been places like dressed like this, literally, through the Arndale Centre. I did promotion for one of the shops in Arndale Centre, just as Katy Perry with big cakes on the tits, you know, and people coming up, just all they wanted was pictures.
Yeah.
You know, I never got, you know, there's a few chavs with the hoods going, get your tits out, love, and whatever, so you do. Look at, because people are always sort of saying, I've been abused, I've been homophobically battered, and,
yeah.
you know, and I think, well, what did you do to deserve that?